One really cool feature that Exchange and Outlook 2003 together provide administrators for the first time is the ability to monitor client performance. Now in the past we've been able to use Performance Monitor to look at all kind of numbers on the server side and see what's happening, but now we can actually do monitoring on the client side. Now this is some pretty fascinating information. Now there's one slight catch here. You have to use Microsoft Operations Manager to collect this data. Now you can go to microsoft.com/exchange/mom, M-O-M, or you can just go to www.microsoft.com/mom and take a look at it. Let's go out there and we'll go out to Microsoft.com. And if you're not familiar with the Microsoft Operations Manager, this is a server that allows you to do a lot of performance. As you can see here, maximize usability and effectiveness. But notice there's some white papers out here and there's an overview about Mom, and notice respect for Mom grows. This is really starting to catch on. Something that's going to be worth a look, because notice, I want you to see what we can now check for. We can check RPC latency. This is remote procedure call latency, and RPC errors. And RPC errors is the really cool one. What I want to show you is some of the counters that you can see now on the client side. First of all, we can see the number of remote procedure calls attempted by the client. Now this is the number of RPC requests that were attempted since the Exchange Store was started. Then we can look at the number of RPCs that were succeeded. This is the number of successful requests that Outlook has sent up to Exchange since the store was started. The number of RPCs that failed, and obviously this is the total number of failed RPC requests. Now, how does it know that? Because part of the remote procedure call process, when it fails, it gets an error message back. This is kind of like the error messages that you get in HTTP. For example, the 400 is not found, the 200 is successful, and so forth. Those are there. They're in the background. We can't see them, but this will read them and use them to prepare these counter numbers. Not only that, we can actually look at the counters on certain conditions. For example, the RPCs failed because the server was unavailable. The RPCs failed because the server was too busy. And we can see the number of attempts per second and the number of RPCs that succeeded per second. Keep in mind, these are just a subset of the counters that you can use that are out there available when you use Microsoft Operations Manager in an Exchange 2003, Outlook 2003 environment. Now this can really help an administrator find out what's going on, because not only can we now see from the server side, we can see from the client side what's happening as Outlook attempts to contact an Exchange server. So I wanted you to be aware of this. This hasn't got a whole lot of attention that I've heard as I've read all the books that are coming out about Microsoft Exchange 2003, but I wanted you to see it here. Mom